I'll keep the door open, so. All right, guys, can you hear me, online students? Okay, cool. Well, let me introduce myself before we get started. My name is Manoj Patil. I'm the owner of New Horizon. I'm also president at Little Priest Tribal College. It's in Winnebago, Nebraska, maybe 30 minutes from here. Been doing this for 14 years. More than 6,000 students we had across United States. We have students from, this time we have students from Minnesota, Illinois, Chicago, Indiana, California, Kansas, Sioux Falls. I believe I covered everybody. So and Sioux City, of course. So we have a lot of students, which which is really good because it's getting pretty competitive. So before we get started, I have a couple questions. One, have you done your homework? So just raise your hands here, online, face-to-face students. Have you done the homework? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
I just got my books like 2 days ago.
Okay, yeah, you just got it right. Okay. And how about online students? Have you done your homework? Maybe thumbs up. Yep. Okay, so we are missing few who have not done the homework. Okay. All right, so I'm going to repeat this, and you're going to hear me this almost every time. Homework is one of the most important things of this part of this class. They're almost all, I think 100% of the students have done the homework in the advanced level. You have to do the homework. There's no magic pill. If you don't put in the efforts, it's not going to happen. Sounds good? Second, last week we had Lauren did the reading. Today Aubrey did the math, right? So far, how is it going? Online students, maybe thumbs up, thumbs down if you have a thumbs down. I just want to make sure that I do not find out of any issues or problems you guys are facing at the end of the semester, okay? I want to know now, right here, okay? And if you don't want to share right here, at least text me so that we can fix it, okay? But this time, as we have a lot more students, we want to be very careful about how our instructors are performing, including me, okay? If I'm not doing it good enough, I need to know that. Third, do you have your calculators? All right, let's get started with page 7 of the math packet. Page 7 of the math packet. So I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes or maybe 6 minutes or so to read through page 7 math packet. And I'll show you what math packet is. This is our math packet. This is our math packet, which I'm pretty sure Aubrey was using just now. Page 7, straight line equations. As you start working on it, I'm going to tell you a few things about this. Page 7 is one of the most important pages for ACT Math. Up to sometimes I've seen 13 questions that have shown up in the ACT Math from page 7. So if you don't know page 7, you may be in a big surprise of your scores. So go ahead and read page 7. You should have a marker or a highlighter. You can highlight those things if you want, but very important. You guys good? You have been studying this since maybe Algebra 1, pre-algebra, basic straight line stuff, but boy, very, very, very important. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna give a problem, we're gonna get started, okay? Have your calculators ready? Question number 1. So when we're gonna use this straight problem as a reference for the all day today, okay? So you have a straight line with 2 points, A 5, 4 coordinate and B -3, -9. First question, find the slope of the line. And you will see this in the first 20 of the ACT math. There are 60 questions, the first 20 are considered very easy. The next 20 are the medium, the last 20 are the hard. And always remember that you have approximately 1 minute per question in ACT math. But the first 20, you want to be doing it around 30 seconds per question, because the remaining last 20, you would need more than a minute. So you got to know your formulas and you have practiced enough that you can do it quicker. Otherwise, you will be behind the curve. All right, let's get started. Find the slope. Slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now, in the real ACT test, don't waste your time writing this formula. You don't have time for it. So let's call this as y2, 4, y1, -9. It doesn't matter which one you pick. But x2 has to be the same exact one, 5 minus of -3. So it'll be 13 divided by 8. Keep in mind, ACT prefers everything in fraction, not in decimals. So it's something you always keep an eye on. And you'll see throughout the semester, we'll be focusing on fractions and radicals, not so much on decimals, okay? Because ACT doesn't prefer that. I know this is my first class with me, so you may be kind of nervous a little bit. These things happen, but one thing for sure, if you have questions, please ask, okay? And don't think what others will think. Just ask. How many got 13 over 8? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Guys good? Okay. Online students, you can do thumbs up if you've got this 13 over 8. All right, good enough. So, again, in the real ACT, this problem, by the end of the semester, you should be taking around 15 seconds. Because if you take a minute, you're way behind. Next question. Find the distance between A and B. Find the distance. All right, find the distance. Again, you can expect in the first 20, square root of x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. Of course, we're starting with very easy stuff, but very important. Let me tell you that. So, one thing I've seen students make mistakes with negatives. Be very careful, okay? x1, 5 minus x2, negative 3 square. y1, 4 minus 9 square. Yeah, negatives, be very careful. So this is 5 plus 3 is 8, so it'll be 64. 4 plus 9, 13. 13 squared is 169. Somebody tell me 169 plus 64 is? 230?
233.
Okay, square root of 233. I don't think so. We can simplify this any further. Yeah, I don't see things so. Yeah, if it's in a decimal form, it will be 15 point something, but ACT will leave it as square root 233. Okay, so focus on radicals and fractions as we move along this semester. Even for college, they prefer these more than decimals. And again, I'm going to repeat, you have to ask questions. You know, you're not just here to just see this, you're here to learn. No harm in asking. I would, okay? Find slope, find distance. Next is find the midpoint coordinates. Midpoint coordinates. Still in the first 20. We're still in the first 20. Okay. So midpoint is x is the average of the x, and the y is midpoint of y is the average of the y. So 5 minus 3, 5 plus minus 3, if you want to write it that way, divided by 2. Then 4 plus minus 9 divided by 2. So it'll be 1 negative 5 by 2. So 1 negative 5 by 2, somewhere here, which seems reasonable, right? You can always guesstimate it. One thing to remember, strategy number 1, always ACT is known to help you with the process of elimination. Always remember that. You can eliminate 2 or 3 very easily in ACT math, all throughout the test actually. So if you send me a question which students do nowadays still, that's the first thing I do is, can I eliminate 2-3 answer choices like this? Then I can narrow my focus on the remaining 2 or remaining 3, but that's what you guys need to be doing. Sounds good? Okay, slope, distance, midpoint coordinate. So far we are all still in the easy. Now, if you have a line that is parallel to this line, and what's the slope it's going to be?
The same.
The same, 13 over 8. Right? These two lines are parallel, the slope remains the same. What is the slope of the line which is perpendicular to this?
Negative 8/13.
So you take whatever is the sign, you take the opposite of the sign. So if it's positive, take negative, and you flip it. 8/13. I would keep an eye on this one. I've seen problems based on perpendicular lines significantly increase in ACT compared to the parallel lines. So parallel line, same slope, perpendicular, negative inverse. Sounds good? Still in the first 20. We are still in the first 20. Online students, do you have any questions, any doubts? Okay. All right, now we slowly shift our focus. Next question, D. Now this is going to be the 30s in the ACT. Find the y-intercept. Find the y-intercept. Now things slowly change. I've seen this question anywhere, question number between 25 to 40 range, this y-intercept question. And I don't think so. If there's any test, you will miss this. You will see this question every time. Again, think of common sense, process of elimination. So starting now, we're going to do a, just for our understanding, if you have done a problem and you have got an answer, face-to-face students will just raise your hands and just put it down so I know who has done it. Online students will do a thumbs up so I know who has done it. So, okay? From now onwards, if you're done, let's do that. Okay, that's all. So I need to keep track of students who have done it. So. All right, let's get started here. Put your pencils down, listen up. This is where it's very important, not only for, again, ACT, but freshman college, you would need this. So they're asking for y-intercept. Well, this is your y-intercept right here. Am I right? So I'm expecting, if drawn to the scale, my y-intercept to a negative value. So using process of elimination, anything which is 0 positive, I can knock it out. Okay? So that's what, already have an idea what my answer is going to be. First step, I'm going to write the y is equal to mx plus b, which is my slope intercept form, b being your y-intercept, right? You can pick either this point or this point. Let's go with this one. Y is 4, slope is 13 over 8, x is 5 plus b. That's my first step. I'm going to take any point on the line for x and y. I already know the slope. I solve for the b, which is your y-intercept. Sounds good? So 4 is equal to 13 times 5, 65 or 8 plus b. So I'm going to just do the, and I'm going to go through this one more time with you guys. So I'm just going to do the quick math here. So okay, I think I'm right, but we'll double check that quick, okay? Well, first of all, it has to be negative. So it is negative, so I'm good. So let's get your calculators first, everybody. Get your calculator. Because you need to know how to do this quick in the calculator, okay? I'm gonna tell you, follow with me. Do 4 minus 65 divided by 8 and hit enter. And you will get a decimal answer, am I right? Yes or no? Okay. Then just continue as is. Look for math. There's a key called math, number 1, and hit enter. You should get the decimal fraction form of the decimal, and tell me if this is correct.
It is.
Okay. And I want everybody today to get this done, because from now onwards I expect you to do decimal to fraction conversion using your calculators, math 1, enter. And if you're not having it, face-to-face students, call me, I'll come and check it. If you're online students, just tell me if you're having any difficulty. But you gotta be honest with me, you are here to learn. You guys good? Yes, no? Good? Online students, thumbs up if you are getting this. Okay, all good then. All right. Because you got to understand, many a times in ACT, you'll have to go through this process, and you just don't want to waste time doing the decimal to fraction. We want to do boom, 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 boom. Sounds good? So if that asked the coordinate of the y-intercept, the answer would have been 0 for x, because at y-intercept x is 0, and negative 33 or 8. Or if they just asked for the intercept, it's negative 33 or 8. Sounds good? I can guarantee every time you see this in ACT. Sounds good? Very, very important. Got it right on. I want everybody to, if you got it, I want you to repeat this problem, please. This is very important. And you should be able to do this in 30 seconds. That's the whole point of this. So just from 2 coordinates, we're building problem after problem after problem. So we're going to go through many more problems from this. You guys good? Yes, no? Sure? I would start this problem so that I know when I'm practicing, reviewing my notes, I would spend more time on this question. And I can guarantee again, been doing this for a long time, that people make mistakes in this. There's a difference between having an idea versus knowing the stuff really in detail. Next one. Write the equation of above line. Write the equation of the line. So this line, write the equation of the line. This question will be again in the 30s, high 30s, maybe 36, 37 type of question. Again, if you're done, just raise your hands or thumbs up, whatever works. I just want to have a quick idea. One of the things I strongly recommend is after the class is done, when you guys go home, maybe a couple hours later, just review these problems on a regular basis so it sticks with you. That's the whole point of it. It's not like you study here and then you should not forget it, because this is what you're going to get in ACT. Either you'll be frustrated there during the test time, or you'll be frustrated here. But if you prepare, you won't be frustrated in the test, and I've seen this happen many times. So, all right, stop writing, listen up. So the first thing is to go to this one again, the y-intercept, slope-intercept form. I use that as a good reference point for a lot of straight line equations. So y is equal to mx plus b. Well, if this question is directly asked, you would have found the slope, which we already know. Then you have to find the y-intercept, which we did there. So remember, the reason this is almost at the level 40 question here is because you have to find the slope, then do that, and then get to this point. So y is equal to 13 divided by 8x, and slope, y-intercept is negative 33 over 8. This is your straight line equation. Now, please, hold on. First, I would write this and check and see the answer choice, which are 5 answer choices, if this is what they have given. If you see it, circle it, you're done. If you don't see it, doesn't mean that you have done something wrong. ACT is known to do a lot of reformatting of the answers, okay? So what they would have done is, they would multiply this entire equation by 8 to get rid of the denominator. 8y is equal to, because you're multiplying the whole thing, 13x minus 33. So look for this one. If not this, you should see this. So far, so good? All right. Now, let's say you don't see this. Let's say you don't see this. Because especially with the straight line equations, I've seen they play around, mess around. People freak out after they don't see what they have solved for. But don't, because they just would have rearranged it. Now, The other way to reformat this is take the x on the other side, negative 13x, get rid of this part. So negative 13x plus 8y is equal to negative 33. And then they would multiply this with negative 1, and I'll tell you why. 13x minus 8y is equal to 33. You will see this or this the most common in ACT because this represents the standard form of straight line. The reason I multiply with negative 1 because the x coefficient, which is negative 13, has to be positive. That's why they multiplied this whole thing by negative 1 to make this positive. Sounds good? In the straight line, in the standard form, which should be on page 7, ax plus by is equal to c. A has to be a positive integer. So you will see either this or this, the most common in ACT. I've seen this too, but this has been the most common, these two. Sounds good? So when you ask for the straight line equation, the first goal is to get to this point and then go from there and see which one matches. Sounds good? And sometimes they say, what is the standard form of the line? Then you directly have to go to this point, going through all these. But this is your first step. This is the first step. And I can guarantee this will take a minute and a half to do it. So that's why you have to know this stuff. Put a big star mark, guys. This is an important problem. Go ahead and write down this, please. That's the advantage with fractions. With fractions, you can easily simplify things. With decimals, it's pretty hard. Ask questions if you're not sure. I don't mind repeating this. You're here to learn, so ask away. You guys good? Does this make sense? So let me repeat it. Start with the slope-intercept form, plug the m, plug the b, you get the equation, then look for an answer choice. If it doesn't match, then you can start going to the next steps, okay? But you have to know the m, slope, and the y-intercept to get to this point. That's why it takes time. Next question. Find the x-intercept. So we did the y last time, now the x-intercept. You're gonna do thumbs up if you're done so that I have an idea. All right, listen up. This is where it touches the y-axis, it's a y-intercept. Where it touches the x-intercept, the x-axis is the x-intercept. So it has to be a positive value just by looking at it. Now to find x-intercept, you got to get to this point again. So that's why people who questions on x-intercept are usually in the 40 level questions. So remember, they'll give this point and they'll ask you what is the x-intercept. So you'll have to find the slope, the y-intercept, then this point, and then you can solve the x-intercept. It takes more steps to get to this. So what I would do is I would get to this one. Y is equal to 13 or 8x, oops, minus 33 or 8. So when for x-intercept, y is 0. For y-intercept, x is 0, like here. And then I'm going to multiply by 8 to get rid of the denominators. So 0 is equal to 13x minus 33. X is equal to 33 divided by 13. So this coordinate here is 33 or 13, 0. Which is, of course, is a positive value. 13 times 3 is 39, so just looks correct to me. Sounds good? So these are the possible 6 variations you will get on top of the parallel. So 8 different questions they can ask you in straight line equations. A significant topic in ACT math. And I have to tell you guys this. I've taught this for a long time to know that this is where students actually start declining in this course because they usually screw up on this one. And I'm going to repeat this. This is so important. So what I have made a small change of how I'm teaching this is we have done all these things. Am I right? Good? I'm going to give you guys a problem which you can do at home. All of these things. You with me on this? So as a good practice. So this is for your go home at home practice, you want to call it as. And it should not take you guys more than 10-15 minutes. But boy, that's going to make a difference eventually, okay? Here are the points for you guys. Let's call them point M, point N. And I want you guys to do all of it at home. This is amazing, good practice you'll have. And you will see how the problem shifts a little bit afterwards, but the steps remain the same. And again, when I give a problem like this, and if you don't do it, there's nothing much I can do. But if you do it, it's going to only help you guys. Because when you see this in the question, the ACT, your first reaction is, oh my goodness, I know this, I'm going to do well in this. You want to build confidence in ACT, and the confidence only comes by knowing stuff. Sounds good? There's no magic pill. Any questions, any doubts? Now, let's start with online students. Is there any student who have not received the books? All right, that's good. Is there anybody here who have not received the books? Good. Next, students who joined the class late or did not get the books on time, they should start the homework on the session 1, okay? Don't start from 2. Guys got it? Because it's arranged in a certain fashion. Second, you have to have access to the GroupMe app, right? So that you get all the information. Third, students who did not show up for this class, who are listening to this video, hopefully, make sure when you're doing this, do this as like a class practice. Just don't sit and watch this. Make sure to write, make sure to solve. I just don't want it to be like a YouTube show where you just listen and stuff like that. It is supposed to be hands-on learning. Sounds good? So anytime you miss, you listen to this, you write things, and then if you have any questions, you're supposed to text me. That's how you're gonna learn. And homework is an extreme crucial aspect of this class. I repeat this all the time because I would say summer 2018 or 19, I don't remember which year it was, we had the worst semester in terms of homework. We were averaging like 10% per week. And that's why summer 2018, I think it was summer 2018, we had the lowest ACT score average increase wise. I think our average increase was like 0.7. They didn't do the homework at all. And they didn't show up for the class. So what you're gonna do now, it's gonna show up the day when you take the test. You're building for it, okay? Well, I wanted to start the next topic, but I think I'm gonna stop right now because it will be like only a few more minutes. I need to talk to you face-to-face students a little bit more. So online students, again, welcome to this semester. Ask questions. I really want you guys to be busy during the class and try to learn here. And again, welcome. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.